Thank you. It's a good one. It's a big one. Yes, our body-mind loves this question because the egoic mind, again here, puts in the future your happiness, your goal, your mission, what you are in life is somehow something to be attained. It is something in your future. It's not something that is currently here. So it's out of grasp for you, unfortunately. As far as the ego is concerned, you have to find a purpose. So maybe not this, and we can keep going, maybe not that. We keep searching for our purpose. What does this really mean? And most people that find what they think is their purpose very quickly realize, wow, this is not it either. There is still a gap. I still feel the same gap that I felt before I started the pursuit of this. So the ego loves the concept that my life has to have a purpose and that something has to happen. Of course, from a non-dual perspective, we are already there now. There's no search that needs to happen. From a non-dual perspective, the purpose is being here, now, exactly who and what you are. And also, perhaps we can say the purpose is to let go of the concept that something else is needed. It is more a subtracting rather than an adding to it. Because adding more concepts that I somehow need this or I need that implies in itself that something is wrong with you, that you are not good enough, and you can see where this is leading in terms of the thought pattern. So you are already whole and complete. From that perspective, it is about letting go of the very things that are keeping you from that awareness. The awareness that you are already it. So of course, I know that the next question will be, but my life situation. There has to be a point to this. So yes, of course, there has to be a point only from the perception of the egoic mind. This doesn't mean that we stop living. It means that purpose starts to change completely. Yes, you find yourself in your life and you have certain things that are unfolding within it. And so you think yourself the doer of this. But in non-duality, you are not the doer. You are the observer of your experience. So you see, no matter how much you try and involve yourself, and for the most part, the more you involve yourself, the more you will find that actually the suffering intensifies. Because when you identify yourself as the doer is the sufferer also, because they are the same thing. But if we can let go of what is there right now, we will find that the purpose is to just be. Fully open to what unfolds in our current experience, that is already whole and complete. Here I will bring in a story that I often tell to explain this concept of whole and complete so that you get an understanding of this. I will use a concept that is widely understood by most of us. And it is that in the beginning, there was the Big Bang, the moment of creation. So we can say, before this moment of creation, there was the one universal conscious mind or awareness. It was whole and complete. But of course, it wanted to experience itself. And then came the moment of creation. So the first self-inquiry, what could I be? What could I become? Created the explosion, but it already contained the whole. So it was already whole and complete, but then the Big Bang happened. This one moment of creation that happened, this Big Bang, nothing is ever added to it, and nothing is ever subtracted from it. So we are always just looking at this one moment of creation. the ever-present now. This is the only moment that we are observing. And it's infinitely vast, eternal. So you can try and put your mind around the concept, but it's best you don't. But it's just good that you can understand that it is infinitely large, or it's infinite. So now I'm trying to explain something to you here, the infinite with the finite words or the finite mind. So it's very difficult to do that. But for the purpose of illustration here, we are going to say that it is an infinitely vast now that's always happening. So everything within it is already whole and complete, even though they are fractionalized of one piece of the whole. It is still that one bit, like a fractal, that contains everything within it, and the deeper you go, the more it might change a little bit, but it always contains the whole. The other way I like to explain it, I think in modern terms, is most people will understand that a television screen is made up of a lot of pixels, which means tiny little lights or tiny little points of light within this huge screen. And some of them obviously have millions and a lot of them. So in this case, we can say it's billions and it's so forth. So we are one pixel in the entire television screen of existence, this moment. And that flashes on and off, maybe at a different color now and then. And we have no idea why that is happening. But of course, if we could ever step back completely, we would start to see a picture unfolding, that there is something already there. And my part in it is very significant, although it doesn't seem that from that perspective, from the pixel's perspective, it doesn't seem that it's doing much. It's just flashing on and off, maybe changing color, and that's all it sees. But of course, from the great perspective, it's much bigger than that. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but so here we can understand that our existence, this little light that happens to us, this little flicker that happens, it's not about a purpose that is an individual purpose, but it is a purpose of the entirety of the experience of itself. So it is much broader than the personal sense of I, the egoic separateness from it. Because you understand you're not separate from the television screen itself. You are, of course, fundamentally the television screen. But from the pixel's perspective, it could see that it's just flickering on and off and maybe a different color. So your purpose is just to be that. It's just to flicker that light on and off, different color, and to be with that. That is the uniqueness. It's about letting go again fully, if you understand from our workshops, to bring it in to allowing. So again here it's about not resisting what is there already. So I would say your purpose is not to resist. Your purpose is to rather be with what is there already and creating space for that fully. So you'll see in some of the workshops as well on our Skool group that there is practices around this as well. Become aware of who you are. Study yourself. Your life is your biggest guru. All of what you need to find yourself is already there. So this moment of creation, nothing is ever added to it. Nothing is ever subtracted from it. It is already whole and complete. The television screen is already there. Nothing else needs to happen. All that needs to happen is for the pixels to flash their little lights independently and different times and different spaces. I hope that helps you a little bit. Your purpose is to let go of trying to find the purpose of you flashing your light on and off. Just keep doing what you're doing, but be fully engaged in that. So your purpose in life is to keep flashing your light.